Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to talk about how to introduce yourself. If it's interesting for you, please continue watching this video and let's get started. So, the creative self-introduction has a great first impression example for others. The first impressions have a huge impact on how others feel to you. Actually, it's crucial. During the self-introduction, which depending on context of conversation, you consider what needs to be said. For instance, if you are interviewing for a job, your self-introduction will be more detailed, specific, and highlight your strengths, attracting the employee's attention. And conversely, if it just a brief introduce yourself, you won't need to prepare too much. In English intro, you should follow some steps process as following: greeting, introduction start, first name, years old, current place of resident or hometown, occupation, and personal preference. Let's talk about greeting. After the beginning your self-introduction, you need to greet other people. In English, hello and hi, two the most common greeting words. Hello usually has more formal and polite meaning, used when we greeting elders, parents, or bosses, and hi will be used to greet friends. You can also use greeting words like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Next, you need to introduce yourself. After the carefully greeted, the next step to take is introduce yourself. And I offer you some sentence patterns like this. Let me introduce myself. May I introduce myself? I'm glad for the opportunity to introduce myself. Allow me to introduce myself. I'd like to take a quick moment to introduce myself. Then you need to introduce your name. The most common names introduction sentences are I am and your name. For example, I am Kalysh. Please, you can call me and your name. Please, you can call me Kalysh. Or my name is Samantha, but people usually call me Sam, so that's my nickname. After name introduction, you use following the age introduction sentences to talk about your age. For instance, I am your age years old. I am 34 years old. Or I am over, almost, nearly, and your age. In my case, I am almost 34 years old. Or you can say I am in my 30th or I am in my 20th. Use these phrases in situations when you don't want the other people to know how old are you. Next, you need to talk about both your current place where you live and your hometown. You can say, I am from and your city. For example, I am from Semey. Or I come from, if you're in another country, for example, if you're in America, you can say, I come from Kazakhstan. Or my hometown is, and your country. My hometown is Semey. Also, you can use next phrases. I was born in and your city. I was born and raised plus in your city. And I grew up in name of your city. For example, I was born in Semey, I was born and raised in Semey, and I grew up in city of Semey. When you talk about your current place, you can use these phrases. Currently, I live and your city. Currently, I live in Nur-Sultan. Or now I live in Nur-Sultan. Or I live in Nur-Sultan, but I am originally from Semey. Next, if you want to talk about your family, you can use these sentence patterns. My family has a number of family members, people. For example, my family has 2 people. My family has 5 people. Or there are the number of family members, people in my family. There are 4 people in my family. In my case, there are 2 people in my family, my husband and I. If you are only child in your family, you can use next phrase. I'm the only child of my family. I haven't any siblings. If you have got sister or brothers, you can say I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Also, you can use the phrase I have 4 siblings. Next, we're gonna learn to introduce your learning. For example, if you are still in school or in university, you can use next phrases. I'm student at and the name of your school or name of your university. Or I'm study at and the name of your school or your university. For example, I studied at Eurasian National University. Actually, if you introduce yourself, you can't skip your job description. I offer next phrases to describing your job. For example, I am and the name of your job. For instance, I am chemist. Or I work in or at and the name where you work. In my case, I work in National Center for Biotechnology. If you don't work, you can use next phrases. I am unemployed or I am out of work. Next, you need to talk about your hobbies. And some specific sentence patterns are: my hobby is, and describing your hobby. I am interested, or I have passion for. For instance, my hobby is learning Arabic language. Or I am interested cooking. I am interested swimming. Or I have passion for art. So guys, in conclusion, I use all of these sentence patterns and create my own self-introduction. Okay, let's go. Well, all right. Let me introduce myself. I am Kalysh, but my dear and near ones call me Katyusha, Kalyunya. These are my nicknames. I would like to say a couple things about myself. I was born and raised in city of Semey. Currently, I live in Nur-Sultan. I am in my 30th and I am married. If you ask me about my job, now I am working in National Center of Biotechnology, in Laboratory of Applied Genetics. To be honest, I'm keen on my job. In lab, we extract DNA from blood, biomass of bacteria, from plant and the soil. Then we analyzed and eventually we get a whole genome of DNA. In my spare time, I tend to learning Arabic language and keep my vlog on YouTube channel. Also having great time with my family and friends appeals to me. So guys, that's all for today. I really hope that this lesson will be more helpful, informative and effective to you. Today's quote is: anyone can start something, but a few people can finish. See ya.